I uploaded my first video thinking something will happen, views, comments, or even a small push from the algorithm. But guess what? Nothing happened. Almost 0 views, and that moment taught me more than any other tutorial could ever taught me. And the first thing I learned is this: nobody is waiting for you. That may sound harsh, but it's free. When you realize no one is watching you yet, it removes pressure. You are not performing for an audience, you are practicing in public. And that shift alone changes how you approach everything. Because if no one is watching, you are allowed to be bad. You are allowed to mess up your delivery. You are allowed to misjudge your topic. You are allowed to upload something that doesn't hit. And that is not failure, that is data. And that leads to the second thing I learned. Your first video is not content, it's feedback. Most people treat their first upload like a final product. They treat it like something that has to be perfect, something that represents them. You see that mindset? It slows you down. Instead, treat it like a test. You are testing your voice, your editing, your pacing, your idea, your thumbnail thinking, your ability to even finish something. Because finishing is harder than starting. A lot of people plan videos, but a very few people actually upload them. That alone puts you ahead. Now, here is something most people don't talk about. Your expectations are usually wrong. Before I uploaded my video, I thought quality was the main factor. Better camera, better editing, better visuals. But after uploading, I realized something else matters more, which is clarity. So if people don't actually understand what your video is all about, in the first few seconds, they leave. It doesn't matter how good it looks. Think about how fast people scroll on YouTube. They fast constantly. They don't give you enough time. You have to earn it immediately. So your opening usually matters more than your editing. Instead of slowing building into your topics, go straight to the point. Show them what actually matters, because attention is short and you are competing with everything. And another thing I learned quickly is that motivation disappears fast. Before you upload videos, you feel excited, you have ideas, you have energy, you imagine growth. And after uploading your videos, you see no results. That energy drops. And that is where most people stop. They stop not because they can't succeed, but because they expected a reward too early. The truth is simple. The platform doesn't reward effort, it rewards value. And you don't know how to deliver value yet. And that is not a problem, that is process. Every video you make improves one thing. Maybe your talking gets better, maybe your structure improves, or maybe you learn how to build attention a little longer. You see that small improvement compound, but only if you keep going. And another important lesson is this: consistency is not about uploading daily. It's about staying in the game long enough to improve. You can upload every day and still not grow if you don't learn. And you can upload once in a week and grow faster if each video is better than the last. So focus less on frequency and more on progress. Ask yourself every time you upload, what improved? Was the hook stronger? Was the message clearer? Did you cut out unnecessary parts? If your answer is yes, you are moving forward. If not, you adjust. And that brings me to another lesson. Your first video shows you your blind spots. Things you didn't notice while recording becomes obvious after watching it back. Maybe you talk too slow, maybe you repeat yourself, maybe your point isn't clear, and that is valuable because now you know how to fix it. Fixing is where growth happens. A lot of people are avoiding watching their own videos. They feel uncomfortable, they notice flaws, but that discomfort is very, very useful because it's showing you exactly what need works. Ignore it and you stay the same, use it and you improve. Another thing I realized is simplicity wins. In the beginning, I tried to do too much, complex ideas, over-explaining, trying to sound smart, but simple content performs better. Clear idea, straight delivery, and easy to follow because your audience isn't trying to decode your message, they want to understand it instantly. So instead of adding more, remove what is unnecessary. So say what matters and cut the rest. One more lesson that changed how I create is this: your idea matters more than your efforts. You can spend hours editing a video, but if that video is weak, you won't perform. On the other hand, a strong idea with a simple execution can do well. So spend more time thinking about the topic. Ask yourself, will someone click on this? Will someone care? If the answer is no, fix that idea before you even start recording. Now let's talk about something most people ignore right now. Your first video teaches you discipline and not motivation, because after the excitement fade, you still have to show up. You still have to plan, record, edit and upload again, and that is not easy, especially when you are not getting any results. But that is what separates people who grow and people who quit, so they keep going even when it's quiet. Another key lesson is that growth is invisible at first. You won't see big numbers, you won't see sudden success. What you will see are small improvements. Your second video feels easier to record, your third video sounds better, and your fourth video flows smoother, and that is growth. So it's not just visible to others yet, and that is where patience comes in. If you expect fast results, you will get frustrated. If you focus on getting better, you will stay consistent, because improvement is something you can control and results are not. Another thing I learned is that comparison slows you down. It's easy to look at other creators and feel behind because they have better videos, better views, more experience, but you are comparing your first step to someone else's 100. That is not useful. Focus on your own progress, because the only thing that matters right now is whether you are better than your last video. If you are winning. Now, here's a practical shift that helped me. Instead of asking, how do I get views? Instead, ask, how do I keep attention? Because views comes from click. Growth comes from retention. If people watch your video longer, the platform pushes it more. So your job is to keep them watching. Cut every boring part, get to the point faster, remove anything that doesn't add value. Every seconds matter. And here's another lesson. Your voice improves with use. The first time you record, it feels awkward. You overthink, you hesitate, that is normal. But the more you do it, the more natural you sound. You stop thinking about camera, you start focusing on the message, and that is when your content gets better, because confidence shows. Another thing I noticed is that perfection is a delay tactic. You tell yourself you are improving the video, but you are not uploading. At some point, you have to let it go, because done is better than perfect, and each upload teaches you more than endless editing we ever do. Now let's talk about something simple but powerful, which is title and thumbnail. Your title and thumbnail are part of the content. They are not just packaging, they are the entry point. If people don't click, they don't watch. So you need to think about how your video is presented. Clean, curiosity driving, and straight to the benefits, because attention starts before the video even plays. Another lesson I learned quickly is that you don't need validation to continue. No likes, no comments, no share. Just you and process. If you rely on external feedback, you will stop. But if you rely on your own standard, you will keep going. So ask yourself, did I do better than the last time? If yes, then keep going. That is enough. Another important realization is that learning comes from doing and not watching. You can watch tutorial for hours, but until you start uploading, you don't truly understand. Because creating forces you to solve problems, how to structure your own video, how to deliver your own message, and how to edit efficiently. Those lessons only come from action, so don't wait until you feel ready. You become ready by starting. Now, here is something that changes everything. Momentum matters more than intensity. You don't need to go all in for 1 week and disappear. You need steady output over time, because each video builds on the last, and consistency builds skill. Even if it is slow, even if it is imperfect, it adds up. Another lesson is that your niche becomes clearer over time. Your first video won't define you. You will experiment, try different topics, adjust your approach, and that is normal. Clarity comes from repetition, so don't overthink your direction at the beginning. Start, observe, and refine. That is the process. And finally, the biggest thing I learned after my first upload is this: starting removes fear. Before you upload, everything feels uncertain. After you upload, it becomes real. You realize it's not as complicated as you thought, and you realize you can do it again. And that is very powerful, because most people never get past the first step. They stay in planning mode, waiting for the perfect time, but there's no perfect time but action. And once you understand that, everything changes. So if you've already uploaded your first video, you are ahead, and if you haven't, you know what to expect now. Either way, the next step is simple: do it better, do it again but better. And that is exactly how this works. If you want to keep learning faster, improving your videos, and understanding what actually works without wasting time, make sure to subscribe and stay close, because the difference between people who grow and people who quit is small. It's just consistency, clarity, and the decision to keep going. Thank you, and I will see you on the next one.